Hey, wonderfuls. The jaw dropping testimony of the Diddy trial continues, and we now are hearing from Diddy's former assistant, George Kaplan. This man described something so horrendous until he said he had to leave Diddy's employment. Yes, he did. He said he could not take it. And I can imagine he could not, because with this incident that he witnessed on the plane, with Diddy B Cassie in such a way that even Cassie hollered out, "Does anybody see this?" That's right. Once again, Diddy's people are standing around, sitting around, hanging around, and what are they doing? They are doing absolutely nothing to help this girl in any kind of way. And as I said before, you mean to tell me with all of these people standing around, they could not get together and say, "Look, Diddy, stop. Diddy, stop. Don't do this." They could not put their voices together to talk some sense into this man. Are you kidding me? Where are all the bold, righteous people? Where? Oh, I'm asking the wrong question, because if they're around Diddy, how can any of them be righteous in any kind of way? Because you saw this man said he had to get out of there, okay? No decent person can hang around and see some mess like that going on. So, this man went on to say that they were on the airplane and he witnessed this incident that was so horrific to him. He saw Cassie on the floor of the plane. He saw her once again fighting to keep this man from continuing to put his hands on her. Yes, he did. She had her hands in the air and her feet. Now, y'all could picture how that looks. Like someone literally for their lives. And she could only yell out, "Does anybody see this?" Yes, they saw it, Cassie. Yes, they did nothing about it. But now you are getting your justice. Yes, you are. Okay? Because y'all, this man said he came in to work for Diddy by glossing him up or gassing him up, as they like to say, complimenting him and telling him what such a person he was, all that poppycock, all that mess, anyone with an ego as big as Diddy's, all you have to do is say some praising words to them, and what they do, they'll bring you and invite you into their camp and anything else they're doing. So this man, I would say this man gassed him up, okay? And was still trying to gas him up on the stand, y'all, because it just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense at all. As the wonderful Tisa Tales even said, his testimony was weird. And I know why she said that, because in the beginning, this man was gassing Diddy up. And for what? How on the one hand, you going to come in here heaping all this praise on this man, and yet you saw that man do what he did to Diddy on that airplane. That was the final straw, because I believe he had seen other things that he just wasn't happy with. Okay? So how on the one hand you're on there gassing him up? Yeah. I'll tell you why he did that. He did that out of fear, okay? How are you leaving with seeing the horrible things this man did, and you got to get the heck out of his employment, but yeah, you're gassing him up? Y'all, he was gassing him up out of fear. It's as simple as that. He thinks this man has some sort of ability to touch him in a way. So he had to come in there gassing him up, because it was just inconsistent what he said. He saw what he saw on that plane, he had to get out of there. That testifies right there. That action that he did testifies right there about what he thought of Diddy. Not all that praise he was trying to heap up on this man, because that was a way to try to keep his life from being disturbed anymore. The fact that he even had to come in and be given immunity for testifying means that he did not want to testify. He did not want to testify out of fear. So he had to hold on to some semblance of likability so that he would not be harassed in his life after Diddy. That's what it was all about. Yeah, he did not want to be harassed. He doesn't know that this man doesn't have people out there that could still get to him. He doesn't know that because he look at this man, as being somebody with all this money and his reach can go far. And that's what it was. So, that's why it was so inconsistent. And that's why Tisa Tell says it was a weird testimony, because he come up there trying to heap all these praises on this man. Yeah, that's what it was. It was fear, because this man thought nothing of Diddy when he said he has to get out of here because he could not stand by and watch this type of thing go on. How you going to think great of someone who is doing that to another person all the time? Okay? He doesn't. He's just in fear of possibly someone coming after him from the Diddy camp. That's all that it is, okay? So we're going to bring you all more. Talk with you later, wonderfuls.